right. So, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go over terminology. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna see how good I can use this whiteboard. All right. Can you see the whiteboard?
I can.
Perfect. And excuse my handwriting.
Trust me, that's good. Mine is atrocious.
Yeah, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
Aren't you able to do it by text? Isn't there a section for that
Yeah, it's like,
instead of writing? Because there's a T over to the, well, on my end, it's on the left-hand side.
there we go. Our services.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So our services right now, we major in storm restoration. So will we do estimates? Will we go out and give estimates? Absolutely. Um, is that what we're going to focus on? No. So people might give us a call to go out and give them a price on their roof, on their gutters, on their siding. Yeah, we'll go out and do it. But that's not our bread and butter right now.
Hmm.
And one day we will add that as a strategy. But the thing that we want to do is we have something that works. Storm restoration, roofing restoration works for us. That's how we did 1.2 million last year. So now it's time to blow up that flow of income and explode it, right? Have salespeople out there selling it, have a bunch of people making calls, booking appointments. So we want to expand that model and blow it up and focus on it. And then once we master that, now we can start adding other services in. We can start going out and giving estimates. We can start doing solar and start adding in a whole bunch of other aspects of construction. Right now, we're aiming towards just blowing up what works first. So storm restoration, that's the name of our game. And the services we offer in storm restoration, obviously roofing. Um, we do gutters as well. We also will do some siding, and it's not often, but if they do have damaged windows, we'll go out there and fix the windows. We'll get the pricing for the windows. We have access to Windows installers. We did do Windows before, but our main our main goal, our bread and butter, is the roofing restoration. That's how we got to where we are today. All right. So
And wind damages is the main bread and butter, because as you said, a lot of other companies, they don't really pay attention to wind damage.
absolutely, absolutely. Wind damage is what we major in. We major in hail too, but we like to
Mhm.
target wind damage just because it's not much competition out there for wind. And for wind, you don't need a specific storm to come by.
Mhm.
For hail, you have a storm hit, and then there is they call it a what's it called? There's a time limit. So let's say a storm hits today, a hailstorm hits today. Some insurance
Mhm.
companies you have from today's the 16th, so you have till February 15th at 11:59 p.m. to file a claim. If you don't file in that time frame, it's over. The next day, it's over. You cannot file a claim. So that's a forget what the terminology is for that. Statute of limitation. That's called a statute of limitation. So that means that you have a certain period of time to file the claim, or else if you don't file within that window, then you can never file a claim for that ever again. It don't matter what's going on.
So if I'm following correctly, you have around 24 hours to file a claim after a hailstorm?
No, so you have a year.
Oh, a year.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So February. So if a hailstorm hit at February 16th today, you have until February 15th of 2024 to file the claim. If you wait more than a year in most policies, it's over. You can't file anymore. Some companies don't have a statute of limitation. Allstate, you can, as long as you were a customer of Allstate when the hailstorm hit, they will allow you to file whenever. Liberty Mutual, they're the same way. As long as you were with Liberty Mutual when that storm hit, it don't matter if it's a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you can still file. USAA, they have a statute of limitation. If that held in, if you didn't file within a year, you cannot file afterwards. So that causes the customers, there's some kind of they have to file within a year. So there's a sense of urgency to get it done. They can't just be sitting around waiting. With wind, there's windstorms all the time. Even if there's a light windstorm, 10 miles per hour, your shingles could possibly blow off. So you can use that date. So wind, you can use multiple dates. It's not like a hailstorm where it only comes once in a while. That's another reason why we like to work wind. Now, with saying that, there is sense of urgency with wind as well, because insurance companies, they change like the wind. So State Farm, prior to, I think there was a ice storm back in Dallas. I don't know if your news covers United States or
Yeah, I remember.
So there's a real bad ice storm in Texas. In Texas, they're not used to having snow or it being cold. So that messed up the whole entire state. The state was shut down. There was a lot of insurance claims filed. And that's where State Farm is located. So prior to that storm happening, State Farm was like, I loved it when people had State Farm, because I knew if there was like 2 shingles on the front, 2 shingles on the back that was missing or damaged, State Farm was paying for the whole thing, no questions asked. They always paid. That storm happened. After that storm happened, they had a lot of claims. I'm assuming they had a lot of claims, and they tightened up. So after that storm happened, you can have 10 shingles missing on each slope of the roof. State Farm would not come out and just pay for a full roof. That changed the whole ball game. And we had people who waited during that time. Instead of filing right away, they waited and they tried filing afterwards, and State Farm didn't pay for the whole roof right off the bat. So
why would someone wait under a situation like that?
Why would they wait? No sense of urgency. They don't think that it matters, or people have a lot of stuff going on in their lives. They got kids, they got work, they got marriage, they got family, they got friends. It's just goes to the back burner. They forget about it, or they never get to it. You know how it can be sometimes. Things that you don't really think are that important,
Mhm.
you put to the side. So that's
True.
that, you know. So that happens with us too. So, um, but those are like some talking points, some selling points to help people create urgency. And I had a friend, same thing. He um he wanted to get a new roof, and he had me out to give him an estimate. I went on his roof, saw that there's all kinds of storm damage up there, and he had State Farm, and he had State Farm after. I mean, he filed a claim after State Farm tightened up, and luckily, um, I was able to talk to an adjuster, show him a whole bunch of damage, and he did end up paying for the entire roof. But it was still more of a challenge after the fact than before. So they change like the wind. Insurance companies change like the wind. Right now they're doing great. They're paying. That could change tomorrow. So let's get this claim file, or let's get you on a schedule as soon as possible, because if you wait, it might not work out for you. They might deny the whole thing. So
And that would be a good, as you said, it's a good selling point for even when I'm on the phone and I'm trying to book an appointment. So if they're kind of a little bit hesitant, you can just let them know that they should have a sense of urgency, right?
absolutely, absolutely. All right, so we're going to go over some insurance terminology. Um, actually, let me do this. Let me do this first. Let's do this. All right. Can you see my presentation?
I can.
All right. So I'm gonna go over this presentation with you again, and then we're gonna dive into some terminology during this presentation, okay?
Okay.
So that's our certificate of insurance. If you look right here, we have millions of dollars to protect your home, Mr. Brooks. This is our contractor's license. It just shows that we're a contractor and we're licensed to do business in Pennsylvania. Okay, so
So
this
I have a question. If a customer asks, well, if a prospect, I like to refer to them as prospect. So if a prospect asks if we're licensed, or if they're saying this is a scam, you can't be a real company, if they ask, are we able to show them that document?
yeah, we can email that document. That's no problem.
Okay.
All right, so step one of our process, the first step was to inspect the roof and do the digital analysis. So the digital analysis is the video. Now, when you're on the phone, so one thing we want to do, we want to wow them. So we want to wow them with our experience, with their experience with us. So we tell them that we're going to do an inspection, we're going to document and everything, and the video is the wow effect.
Mhm.
So they don't know that we're doing a video when I get there. So once I get there, I show up with my belt, my tools. I go up on the roof, I do a grade inspection, and then I do a digital analysis of video and do some education on that video. And then I show some problems, and I show the cause of the problems and what's going to happen if you don't do anything about it. So that's called PPC. So I PPC them, show them the problem, show them the what do you call it? The problem, the what caused the problem, and then I forget what the PPC is. I just had it in my head. Oh, I'm sorry, PCC. That's why. The problem, the cause, the consequence. So those are three things I touch on in the video. The problem is hail damage or wind damage. What caused it? Obviously the weather. And then the consequence of not taking any action. So when I show them that video, they're like, wow, because nobody's doing that. Nobody is showing videos. Most people might show pictures. Some people might show pictures, most don't. So we don't share that information with them over the phone. We want to keep that as the wow effect. We can let them know we'll do the inspection, we'll document everything. You can even say, we'll show you photos. We'll show you photos of your roof. But then when
just don't mention the video aspect of it.
Don't mention the video because it's not, because then they're expecting the video when I go there.
That takes away the wow factor.
Exactly. So so that's what we do. That's what we do during digital analysis. So the first step, Mr. Brooks, is for us to do the inspection and then the digital analysis. We did that. The whole purpose of that is to see if you even have any damage. Because some people don't have enough damage. And we think you do have enough damage. And the next step is for you to contact your insurance company. Once you do that, you'll get a claim. That's an adjuster that's assigned to your claim. So what the next step is, the adjuster is going to want to come out. He's either going to come out or he's going to send someone else out to take a look and inspect your roof to see if there's any damage. And one of the services we offer is we'll actually meet out with the adjuster and we'll point out all the damages and make sure that he sees everything that we saw up on the roof. That way you have the best chance that you can get of getting this whole roof approved. All right. So we make him look very close because he works for the insurance company. We work for you. So we have your best interest. The insurance adjuster has the insurance company's best interest. Does that make sense?
It does.
So now I know you're probably thinking what everybody thinks, how much is this going to cost me? Right? So let's talk about the money. So let's assume that the insurance company comes out and they say they're going to pay for your entire roof. Okay. And let's assume that your roof's not going to be this cheap, but let's assume that your roof costs $10,000. Now, the insurance company will pay for 9,000 of it, and let's assume that your deductible is $1,000. So the insurance company will cover 9,000 of it, and then you'll cover your deductible, which is $1,000. Now, they're not going to give you that $9,000 up front. They used to back in the day. But when Hurricane Katrina happened, they were doing that and people were taking that money and they were going to Jamaica. They were, buying white Corvettes. They were doing everything with their money but replacing their house and fixing the property. So now to avoid that, what they're going to do is they're going to give you a check. This is called an ACV check. They're going to give you the first check. It's going to be $6,000, and they're going to hold back $3,000 until the work is complete. And what we'll do is we'll take your deductible and your first check, your $6,000, and we'll get you scheduled. We'll order materials. We'll do the job. We'll take photos. We'll document everything. And then we'll send you and the insurance company a final invoice of the cost of all the work. And then they'll release the depreciation for $3,000. Does that make
Like,
sense?
it does, but I have a question. Have you ever had an issue after you sent the invoice? Like, no, you was an issue to get the money after the work was completed?
So by law, anytime insurance companies write, so we're literally following the insurance company's instructions.
Mhm.
So they're telling us the amount that they're paying. So by law, they have to follow that. They can't just hold the money back. And if
Okay.
and if there was an issue like that, then in the United States, they have the state oversees insurance companies. So you can reach out to the Department of Insurance, and the Department of Insurance will handle everything. And from what I hear, they'll send you a check, and they'll go after that insurance company
Hmm.
and the adjuster and whoever else was involved with the fraud. Does that make sense?
It does. And knowing from what I've heard of America, they take fraud very seriously over there.
Absolutely. Very seriously.
Unlike here in Jamaica, so that's good.
So, Mr. Brooks, not saying this is you, but some people do think they're going to save money or make money off the insurance company, and there's no legal way to do something like that. So, especially in this example. So let me show you how. Let's say you didn't like 5 star, you didn't like me, you didn't like 5 star. You're like, forget that. I'm gonna go get another contractor, and I'm gonna get them to work. And let's say the contractor said, oh yeah, we can do that roof for $7,000. So the insurance company, they'll still send you the $6,000 check. You'll still owe your $1,000 deductible, and then you'll pay that contractor $7,000. However, the insurance company will say, thank you so much for saving us $3,000 because you found somebody that did it a lot cheaper than what it should cost for a roofing. Now, the only
Mhm.
way for them to release the $3,000 is you have to submit an invoice for $10,000. And if you submit an invoice for $10,000 and your roofer only did it for $7,000, that's insurance fraud. You go to the federal penitentiary for stuff like that.
Oh,
So
that makes
I'm
sense.
not saying that you'll do anything like that, but my job is just to educate you on that.
Mhm.
Any questions?
None so far. Everything's been explained pretty good.
So you might have some customers, they have these 3 questions. What happens if the insurance company comes out and they say there's no damage and they're not paying anything? Well, if that happens, I doubt that it happens because you saw the video. But if that does happen, you don't owe me a dime. You don't have to buy a roof from me. I don't have to put a roof on for you. And we just shake hands, walk away, and you have nothing, and you lost nothing. And I just spend my time. Um, Another question is, what if the insurance company doesn't pay enough? They agree to pay for the full roof, but they don't pay enough. Um, so what the insurance company uses is a software called Xactimate, where they price every single item of the roof, every single component, and that comes up with a total price. So in the beginning, they never pay enough. They always leave things out. For one, they don't know the codes in this area. That's a contractor's job to know how to install properly and go by the codes. So we make sure that all those items that's supposed to be on there to give you a roof that you deserve is on there. If they're not, then we show photos and documentation that represents that. And then they will increase the line items, and which in turn will increase the price. Um, so those are the most 2 common questions that I get. Oh, and the third one is, will this increase my rate? Will this make my premium go up? Well, the answer to that question is your premium is going to go up. It goes up every single year, regardless if you file a claim or not. So they cannot penalize you personally for an act of God hitting your house. Because Mr. Brooks, could you have done anything to prevent hail or wind from hitting your house?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Build a tent around it? So, unlike car insurance, where someone's at fault with storms and acts of God, they legally cannot penalize you personally. What they do is they take the whole area and they make the rates go up a little bit to cover all the costs.
Mhm.
So, no, they cannot make your rates go up for this. Your rates are going to go up anyway, just because of all the storms that happen in this area. Does that make sense?
That does.
Perfect. And these are some photos and testimonials of some of our customers. This one right here, they filed a claim. They didn't have a contractor. Back when one of the hurricanes happened, I think 2 years ago in the summer, a tree fell down on their fence, and or I think it just fell out on their property. And they filed a claim, and the insurance company agreed to pay $1,500. So her deductible was $1,000, and the insurance company paid $500 to remove the tree. So one thing they forgot to do, because you're supposed to be able to tell the insurance company all the damages that you incurred. But who's getting on their roof and looking at that and checking it out? No, not many people. So
Not many people.
they missed all the roofing damage that happened to this house. So that's when we went up there. It was probably what, almost a year later, I think. We went up there, we did the inspection, we showed the photos, we showed all the documentation. That opened the claim back up. And then Nationwide went ahead and agreed with everything that we sent them and paid for the whole entire roof. This is a similar story where young lady, she went and she filed a claim because there were some big windstorms happening and she experienced damage on her roof. And this insurance company said, okay, well, we're going to just pay for repairs. So the repairs came out to be that number, 1,022. Her deductible was $1,000. So the insurance company is going to pay her $22 for her repairs. No, you can't get anybody out here for no 20, even $1,000. You're not getting anyone to come out and do all those repairs, with siding, with roofing, with interior. No way. So we document everything. I did the inspection, created a report, sent it into the insurance company. They sent someone else out to look at the roof. And I educated that inspector about how we cannot repair this roof on a shingle by shingle basis. And he was like, you're right. And then they end up paying for the whole roof, $19,845.
So you're not only educating the customer, but you're also educating the insurance adjusters.
Exactly. Because their job is to adjust claims. So they don't do any construction. They don't do construction. They adjust claims. So they come up with an estimate of what it's going to cost. It's just an estimate. It's not actual, it's an estimate. So our job as contractors is to show how the work actually had to be performed. And then we actually create the actual. So they don't know this stuff.
That makes sense.
And we have to educate them so they can educate their boss. Because their boss is the one who's going to approve it. He's going to say, why are you sending this to be approved? We could just repair these shingles. And then we give them the knowledge, say, hey, it needs to be approved because in this township, the code states that you can't leave the roof less compliant than it already was before the storm took place. Here's the code, here's the photos, here's a repair attempt. And they say, okay, that sounds legitimate.
By explaining that to the customer, you're showing them how you are creating value for them. Just like how it's stated on Cardone University, show how you're creating value.
Exactly. You can file a claim on your own. However, you risk it not getting fully paid. So there's a risk there.
So that could actually work as a rebuttal, because if I'm talking to someone and they say, hey, why don't I just do this myself? You can say, okay, well, that's an avenue that you can explore, but however, you're not going on your roof, or most persons aren't going on their roof, but we do, and we educate the adjusters. We show them the entire presentation, damage by damage, and how you can get more out of your claim, as opposed to you just doing it by yourself. And they don't know the damages, they don't know what to look for. Their business is just estimates and adjusting. So we can show them, and you can get more out of your claim. So that could be a selling point.
Absolutely. You get the maximum value that you deserve out of your claim, because most claims are underpaid, and then you're stuck trying to find a contractor who will do it for a certain price. And the lower you go, there's always gonna be something missing. You bought something cheap before, and when you buy something cheap, it doesn't equate to a great product. It doesn't always solve your problem. So, and you can always share the stories. Teresa Soha, she filed it on her own, and the insurance company, and she didn't even know either. They missed a whole lot. They just wrote for tree damage, and where she had interior damage, she had roofing damage, and by us working with her, it saved her $16,000. By us making sure that the value was there. Same with Nicole Kyoto. Nicole Kyoto filed on her own. The insurance company came back and said, we're gonna give you $22. They missed the things, and they didn't know codes. They didn't know how to install roofs and how to explain it. So we saved her $18,000, over $18,000. And the story goes on. It was a partial claim that was paid. They came back, spent 10 grand. They're going to pay 10 grand. And they turn around, we educate them. They turn around and say, yeah, you're right. The roof has to be installed this way. The code is this. We did miss these code items, 33,000. And Allstate. This is the Allstate claim. Whose claim is this? Oh, Kelly Benner. Yes, Kelly Benner. Kelly Benner. She had somebody. She had a contractor. She was doing everything right. She had a contractor. The contractor was there to help her with her insurance project, and they had the adjuster come out, and guess what? That contractor wasn't able to educate the adjuster how we educate them, and they said they're going to pay her a whopping $639, because her deductible was $1,000, and actually her deductible was $800. So they said, okay, for your roofing repairs, we're going to pay you $639.64. So she just gave up. She gave up. But then she met us. She reached out to us because she heard us doing some roofs in the neighborhood, and we took a look at her paperwork and her project, and we said we can get this overturned. And then we went and educated the adjusters. We sent the documentation. We sent the photos. We met with them, and they said, yes, you're right. You were right. Here's another $34,000. Go ahead and do the work how it's supposed to be done. The roof, get the siding, and some of the interior.
This brings me back to when we were first talking on that interview, and I asked you what's the difference between you and your competitors, and you said they don't know what you know. So all these testimonials actually shows that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We study, man. We spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy on education. We're up on the latest trends. We go to events. We probably went to 10 events last year
Mhm.
in different cities, different states, from Arizona to Florida to Jamaica, you know? So
Yeah.
we pass on that knowledge so that way, because if all you have to do is know more than your competition,
Mhm.
and you'll win all day. So, and here's some before after projects, some people that trusted us to do their home. This is a now it's probably a multi-million-dollar home. I know at the time it was at least $1 million. This was a commercial property, school that we did. This is another home. It's probably close to $1 million. It's definitely $1 million home. So all these people trusted us with their claim, and we delivered. Not only got them a beautiful new roofing system that's going to last them anywhere from 30 to 50 years, but they all did it for $1,000, $500, $2,000. So any questions?
That was an amazing presentation. Everything was well explained.
Awesome. So at this time, most of my customers decided to go ahead and file a claim. And what they did is they called the insurance company when I was here. They talked about the insurance company asked certain questions about their policy. I can't talk about policies. And also they asked questions about construction, damage. I can talk about that. So if you want, you can go ahead and call and then put it on speakerphone, and I can answer the questions about the the uh the damage and all the construction around it. And then you can talk about your policy and give them all your personal information. Does that work?
That works.
Perfect. Now I have one more question. If I do everything I said I was going to do, I meet out with the adjuster. I document everything. I show them all the photos, and I help you get your roof paid for. And the only thing you have to pay is your deductible. Would you let us do the work? That's how we make our money.
You make a very convincing argument, Justin. Yes, I would.
Awesome. Perfect. So if you want, you can go ahead and call them, and I'll just start writing down your information, and then you can let them know that you have your contractor here, and they can speak with me about damages if that's okay with them.
Sure, I would love to.
Perfect. You have the claims number?
The claims number, how do I find the claim number?
I got it for you right here. Don't even worry about it. Man. That's what we do. I'll start filling out the contract, and then they're calling the insurance company. We're getting the claim started, and I'm writing down all the information. And at the end, I go ahead and read them the contingency. And it pretty much says that, here, actually, I'll pull one out and read it to you. All right, Mr. Brooks. So all I need is your okay here and here. I'll read this to you. So the top part of this, you don't need to worry about, because once they come out and pay for the roof, then we'll write down your roofing system. We'll get the colors, and then we'll get the pricing, how much it's going to cost, and all that good stuff. So the top isn't really necessary right now, just the bottom. And I'm gonna read the bottom to you, okay?
Mhm.
So this agreement does not obligate the property owner or 525 Inc. in any way unless repairs are approved by the property owner's insurance company. So this doesn't obligate you or us unless repairs are approved by your insurance company. This agreement authorized Five Star Inc. to pursue repairs to damaged property at a price agreeable to the insurance company and Five Star. So if this gets approved, that means that you're letting us do the work at what the insurance company and us agree to. Unless upgrades or other services are requested there will be no cost to the homeowner except for the insurance deductible. So if your roof comes out to be $100,000, the only thing you would have to pay for that $100,000 project is your deductible, $1,000, unless you want to upgrade. Let's say you want to solar shingles, or you want to do skylights, you want to all kinds of upgrades that's not damaged, then that would be out of pocket. When price agreeable is determined, the final contract price for selected repairs under specifications above shall become. We won't know what that number is until they approve of it. If requested by Five Star Inc., final payments will be paid to Five Star Inc. separately after each trade has been completed. So let's say that they paid for gutters, they paid for roofing and siding. So the first thing we'll do is the roofing. And once the roofing is done, we just ask to be paid for the roofing. Siding might take 2 months. So once siding's done, then we ask siding to be paid. Once gutters are done, ask for the gutters to be paid. Does that make sense?
It does.
This is only for insurance proceeds. To add any additional work requires a separate estimate and addendum pricing out additional work to be done. So it's only for insurance proceeds, okay? This is an agreement for actual approved items only. So it's only for approved items. So I need your okay here, here, and here.
All right, sure. Email it over and I can have everything signed up. Perfect. Now, I have a question. Have you ever filed a claim and there was anything left off? Like you file a claim, the job was for a certain amount of money and something was left over. Like what I'm asking is, was there ever a case where a customer walked away with something left over in pocket, or it doesn't work like that?
Yes, it works like that sometimes. So let me show you something. First, let me give you the visual first of a client, a customer. Okay.
Well, and side question, that form that you were just going over, would you be able to send me a copy so I can have it in hand and go over it time to time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I'm gonna get to your question, but I want to show you this first. So here is what it looks like. This is one of the things we do when we do an inspection. So I have an app that I use to take all the photos, and we put together this nice report. As you can see, my name's here, Justin Westmoreland, Five Star Exterior. It was taken on 6/30/2022, and there's 53 photos. So, so the insurance company, I guess they missed a bunch of damage. So we'll send them all the items to have them address it. Okay. So we got the front elevation has hail damage. So they missed that. There was only one window wrap in the estimate that are 6 that are damaged. So so this, right? So let me answer your question. Does the customer sometimes have any extra money left over? Yes. So we do roofing, we do the exterior work. A lot of times, probably 90% of the times, I have customers that have roof damage. They have interior damage that they don't even know about. So we're really not interested in doing the interior damage. But we're an exterior company. So let's say their interior damage comes out to $3,000 and their deductible was $1,000. So we're going to do all the roof work, all the exterior work, and it's up to them if they want to do the interior or not. So if they decide not to do the interior, then they have $1,000 towards their deductible, because that's 3,000 minus 1 is 2. Now you have $2,000 left over. They can hire somebody to do the interior, or they can keep that money. So yes, when that is the case, they have work that insurance companies paying for that we're not doing, they can have extra money left over.
Okay. Makes sense.
Now, this brings me to one of the terminologies called a supplement. So a supplement is pretty much any single time the insurance company writes up a estimate. So this is the estimate. Oh shit. Okay, so this is an estimate from the insurance company. So they have all these line items on here. How many line items? We have, look at that, 47 different line items. That adds up to a price of $37,000. $37,866.06. So anytime they have items that are missing on that estimate, and we go back and say, hey, you missed this, this, and this. That's called a supplement. Anytime we ask for more money, for more items to be paid for, that's called a supplement. So a supplement is literally the actual, it's the actual, what we actually need to complete this work, not an estimate. Does that make sense?
It does.
So in this case, she will be left over with more money because she has interior work. Now, let's go back real quick to some terminology. Give me a second, just pull up this document real quick.
Oh, I have a question. In terms of doing your marketing and your advertising, did you remember the strategy that I said one of the companies that I worked for, where they set something up through, it was Facebook and Instagram, social media on a whole, where persons could interact with the advertisement if they have damage or if they're interested in the service, they would just leave their information and then we give them a call.
Yes, I do.
Is that something that you'll be exploring? Do you think it would work for 5-star?
Absolutely. We are definitely exploring that right now.
Okay. Because it worked for them because they were getting somewhere along the lines of over 50 interactions a day. That was over 50 persons leaving their information.
Wow.
So every day when we got into work, there were new leads in the pipelines.
That's awesome.
It was.
Yes, that's exactly
I've never really seen a business do that before, and that was something that stuck with me after leaving that job. I'm saying that was very clever of them to do.
Yes, we are working on that right now. We are working on creating landing pages. That's what they probably had information. People can sign up.
Yeah.
They put their phone number and address and email in there, and then you guys call them up.
Yeah.
And you
So
qualify them and all that good stuff.
I have a question. You said that you would like an entire team on this side to do your the appointments. How soon would you like to add more persons to the team?
As soon as you can master it,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you can master it, then we go to the next level. We have to master it first, you know. We have to master
Sure,
it.
I understand. I have to be the one to spearhead it first before we move on to anyone else.
Exactly. And then it's about it's promote, profit, people, adding the people and adding the processes so they can do the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so here's some insurance lingo. Can you see my screen?
I can. I'm not sure if I missed this or anything, but was this sent to my email?
No, this wasn't sent. I just pulled this up today. I can send this to you too, though. There's a lot of information in this, a lot. So I can send it to you. You can look over it, read it, study it. There's a lot of good information here. Um, I'm not sure. I haven't looked through everything on here.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how what everything is talking about on here. So, but this is a good overview of some of the lingo. So we got an ACV check, we got an RCV check. Let's talk about those. So in my presentation, when I was talking about the money, I was literally talking about these two things. So you have RCV policy and ACV policy. I mentioned that the other day. The difference.
Yeah, the replacement cost value and the actual cash value.
That's right. That's right. So this is the same thing except for the check. So when the insurance company cuts that first check, that's the ACV check. When we invoice them and they release the depreciation and everything, all the holdback money, that's the RCV check
Okay.
or the depreciation check. Okay. Does that make sense?
It does.
So you're on the phone with someone, and all right, let's do some role play real quick.
Sure.
You call me and go through your pitch. Ring ring.
All right. Hello?
Hi. Who's calling?
Hi, Justin.
Yes.
Hi, this is Darren from Five Star Exterior. Now, the reason for my call is there was severe hailstorm in the city. It caused a lot of damage in the surrounding properties, and you may be qualified for a free roof inspection and a full roof paid for by your insurance company.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Now, I have appointments available here for 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., and which would work best for you?
So what's this for? To do an inspection?
So yes, this is the first, not only to do an inspection, but the first step is the inspection. And then the second step is we walk you through all of the damages. We do a full inspection, full documentation. We bring the roof down to you to show you exactly what's going on. And then the other step is we walk you through filing your claim with your insurance adjusters. And then we meet with them, give them all the information for you to get a new roof.
All right. I don't really need that. Can you guys just come over and give me an estimate?
Well, sure we can. All right, hold on. Sorry. A truck is passing by. I am terribly sorry about that. All right, so go over that question again. This is this is the headache of living next to the highway.
And no problem. Yeah, I don't need all that. I don't need the inspection. I don't need to walk. I don't need for you guys to help me with a claim or anything. Can you just come over and give me an estimate?
Of course, we can come over and give you an estimate, but Justin, I understand that you're essentially not interested. However, most of my clients aren't. But look at it this way. The longer that you take to have your roof inspect or replace, it could cost you more over over a longer period.
Yeah, I already filed a claim. Yeah, I already filed a claim. I got a check in hand and everything.
Or you file, okay, so I understand that you filed a claim, but Justin, remember, the insurance company, their business is not to inspect the damages, and no one's really going to go on a roof, but that's what we're here for. So they would probably miss most of the things that we would find for you. And if you work with us, we can show you exactly how you can get more out of your claims. So you'll be saving time and a lot more money. Because let's say they come over, they just do an inspection from the ground. They're gonna miss a lot of things. So this is what we're here for. And remember, we're working for you, and you pretty much you have to pay nothing up front. There's no real risk to you, because if we go up there's anything missing, we're gonna be the first to let you know that, hey, there's no damage. But if there is damage, trust me, we can show you exactly how you can get more out of your insurance company. And we have a full presentation. We do an entire sweep, full inspection, and we show you exactly how you can get more. So you see how we're actually bringing value and saving you time.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there.
All right.
Do the same thing to me. I'm gonna ring.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Brooks.
Hi, who is this?
This is Justin from Five Star. The reason why I'm calling is there's been severe storm damage in your area, and you might qualify for a new roof paid for by your insurance. So what I'm calling for is to schedule a time for us to come take a look at it and do an inspection to see if you even qualify. So I have two times available tomorrow, one at 10 o'clock, one at 3 o'clock. Which one works best for you?
I don't really have all the time for that. Can you just come out and give me an estimate?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to come out and give you an estimate. So let me ask you this. We have some neighbors in your area that had the roof paid for through the insurance. And where are you? Where are you in the process?
Well, I already filed a claim.
Great, great. That's awesome. Did they come out and inspect it, or where are you at in that claim, in that process?
Well, after filing the claim, someone already came out, and it's pretty much we already started.
Okay, when you say you already started, what do you mean by that?
So they already gave me an amount that I should pay. So they already showed me how
Oh,
much I'm qualified for.
awesome. That's great. Well, we can definitely come out. So you have the ACV check. So right now, what it sounds like is you had the first check to get the work started, and they're holding back some money until you get the final check, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get you scheduled in, and we'll have someone come out. I know you don't really need an inspection. We're gonna do the inspection anyway, just because the insurance companies they tend to miss things, and we want to make sure you get the best value, the value that you deserve, so that way we can put on the roof that you deserve. So I have two times available tomorrow, one at 10 a.m. and one at 3 p.m. Which one works best for you?
3 p.m. works.
3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So
Was I overselling again?
overselling, yes. Yes.
I need to work on that.
Yes. So the best thing to do is just to be curious and ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving you information. I'm saying that I don't need all that. Can you come over and give me an estimate though? And then you went on, and I said, I already have a check. So that's
And then I went ahead and tell you that we could possibly get you more.
exactly. All you need to do, so you have that information, you don't need to sell them. They already want you to come over. They already want us to come over. Let me do the selling. Your job is to do the selling. Your job is to sell the appointment. He's asking, can you come over and give me an estimate? I got a check. Absolutely. We would love to come over and get an estimate.
So I already got the appointment. I was just jumping ahead and trying to sell the service.
Yeah, you were trying to sell something that you don't even sell yet.
Yeah, I was jumping the gun. I see that now.
So all you need to do, your job is to book the appointment,
Mm-hmm.
as much information as you can. You heard him say, I have a check already. Can you give me an estimate? So what that means, what it sounds like it means is he wants to make sure that he's not paying any more than what he got with his check and his deductible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we can do for you. We can make sure that you don't come out of pocket. Only thing you have to come out of pocket is your deductible. So let's get you scheduled and we'll show you how we can do that. And then you let us know. Then you put in the system, hey, he already has insurance check. He filed a claim already. Roof is approved, or he has a check already in hand. He wants an estimate. Did when I see that, I'm like, oh, okay, great. So now I have to sell. When I get there, now I have to sell him on not coming out of pocket more than his deductible, and we want to make sure that everything on that estimate is in there, so he can have that his value of his claim is where it's supposed to be. And I start asking questions like, do they put step flashing in your estimate?
Mm-hmm.
Is there did they put detach and reset of the gutters? Did they put detach and reset of the siding? He's like, oh no, I don't know. Here, take a look at it. Then I'm looking at it like, oh yeah, we got some work to do. They missed this, and this. So
And
you hire us to take care of
that
everything.
would be your part and not mine.
Exactly.
All right, so I just need to remember the only thing I need to sell is the appointment.
That's it.
I'm not there yet to sell the service. That actually starts when I get over there.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So all the information I'm giving you right now
Mm-hmm.
is so that you are sold on our service. You have an understanding of what we do.
Mm.
You can start listening for different things, like a check. You know what a check is, ACV check. It's more likely an ACV check. We know RCV check is when the roof is done. So
I need to listen and understand at what step of the process they're in to know how to go forward.
yes, yes. At the end, at worst case scenario, you're just booking them for appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he said he wanted an estimate. Fine, yo, send me all the houses that we give you, all the address and numbers that we give you. They're already pre-qualified. I already know that they got storm damage. So I'm gonna go over there and do my job. My job is to sell them, not on giving them an estimate on getting the whole insurance to pay for the whole thing. I can do that all day long. So you just set the pins up, and I go knock them down.
All right, I understand. And I need to practice more on just understanding that the only thing I'm here to do right now is just the appointments.
That's it. That's it.
Just the appointments. Sorry.
Sell the appointment. Sell the appointment. That's it.
Nail the appointments and you nail the sales.
Exactly. Exactly. We're a team. You're the setter, I knock them down. You set them up, I knock them down. Set them up, knock them down.
Knock it down.
Exactly.
That's gonna be my mantra. I set them up, you knock them down.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right.
So I think my line of thinking that I was going forward with was a little bit off. So I should stop meditating on selling the service, just focus on the appointment.
Right.
All right.
Right. Be sold on our service.
Mhm.
That's going to help you to sell the appointment. So be sold on us. That's why I'm teaching you all this, so you can be sold on what we do.
Mhm.
So you're like, man, I'm telling you, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. The next step, though, we can't get to your full roof replacement until we do the inspection. Because, hey,
Mhm.
last thing you want to do is be filing claims when you don't have any damage. That's pointless. Waste your time. Waste everybody's time. Waste adjusters' time. We're not going to do that. So that's why we need to look. We need to take a look.
Mhm.
So
we can give them a guarantee that not going to waste their time.
exactly.
We're going to do a proper inspection.
Exactly.
They're covered. All right.
So ACV check, RCV check, actual cash value check, replacement cost value check. Now how we get to that, let me see here. Okay. So it's kind of out of order, but okay, so depreciation. Depreciation. That is what the insurance company holds back in a RCV policy. Okay, so let's pull up this document right here.
So I want to know something, right? Because I just fully identified my problem going forward, which I need to work on. So in order to stop selling, say as little as possible, but at the same time giving proper information. Would that help me to stop oversell?
Yeah, so you just stick to the script. When
Mm-hmm.
when you get an objection, get off the script, handle objection, come back as soon as possible. Handle it, come back as soon as possible. You don't want to stay in this too long, because then you're overselling. So answer their question, handle their objection, and get right back. And it comes through repetition. So, all right. So if we look at this paperwork, all right. So this is a summary of coverages. Okay. So RCV, replacement cost value, $37,866.06.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Less minus depreciation. So depreciation, this is the money they're holding back until the work is complete and we have a final invoice of this total number. All right. So that's the depreciation. So in RCV policies, insurance company, they'll deduct the depreciation and they'll deduct the deductible and they'll write an ACV check and that claim, ACV check, $28,393.15. So that's what customers get once they get their first check. This gets the work started and they're holding back the depreciation. Okay. So RCV policy, they'll pay out depreciation, but it has to be complete and invoiced at the number that the insurance companies stated. ACV policy, that's all they're getting. They're not getting any depreciation. So if you get someone on the phone and they're like, well, the insurance, my roof is old, they're not gonna cover the whole thing. And yeah, Mr. Brooks, I understand your roof is old. A lot of my customers, they said the same thing. But most people, they have a RCV policy, and that RCV policy covers, even if it's old, it could be 100 years old. It will cover the entire thing, the entire roof, no matter how old it is. So if you want to make sure that you're good, you check, and it should say replacement cost value. If it says that, you're good. They'll pay for the whole roof. All right.
So what if it's, to go over it again, if it's ACV and it's old, how do we go forward with that?
If it's ACV and it's old,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't need to worry about that, but I will sell them on, let's say it's ACV and old. Okay, your roof is I would like to know this beforehand, before we do all this work. But if I know beforehand and I'm like, okay, well, let's assume that if I can get half your roof paid for, it's an old roof, you're going to have to pay full price anyway if you don't go this route. But I might be able to get half your roof paid for. So if I get half your roof paid for, and your roof costs 20 grand, only thing you got to pay is 10 grand, insurance company pays the rest. Would that work? Would that be worth it for you?
What I save half, so I'm saving something.
Exactly. And I might be able to get more. But worst case scenario, I think I can get half. If I can't get half, if I can't get X amount, then you could choose whoever you want to do your roof. But here's the estimate.
Fair enough.
Here's the estimate, 20,000. I'm saying I can get 10,000 from an insurance company, and you just make up the difference.
Fair enough.
Let's go. Let's write that down. So that's how I would do that.
And I'm able, so I can tell them that exact line on the phone, right?
So I would just, so your job isn't to sell it. Your job is sell an appointment. Say, look, just sell me. Hey, I'll have the owner come over. He'll talk to you. He'll help. He'll find a way to help you out to make it benefit for you. First thing we gotta do is see if you even have any damages. The ACV policies, I mean, you won't even know they have ACV policy. So, but first thing we gotta find out if you have damage, and then we'll figure out everything after. It doesn't cost you anything to get the information. So what time works best
Makes
for you?
sense. Fair enough.
What time works best for you tomorrow?
10 a.m.
Perfect. I have it 10 a.m. I have it 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Next one. Okay. All right. So we have the ACV check, RCV check, the deductible. Are you clear on what a deductible is?
It's the portion that they have to pay.
Right. Right. So whatever contract they have with the insurance company, that's what them and the insurance company agree that they'll pay. That's their portion. So we don't determine the deductible. They determine their deductible. All right. So we have supplementing. Supplementing, anytime we ask for more money, anytime something comes up during the day of the job, or when we do our site survey and start planning the job, there's tons of things that can come up during that process. So if they come up, now supplement is needed. We send in a supplement. Now, and every single claim, we supplement every single claim. There's not a claim that we don't supplement. Because how are you going to know? How are you going to know what is needed until you go and figure out and prepare and plan and do an inspection on what is needed? How are you going to know that the price of plywood went up yesterday? Or when we took off the roof, they had a specific space decking where that's not up to code. Or the siding breaks when we're doing the step flashing. So that's why we supplement. Now the software that the insurance companies use, most insurance companies use, is called Xactimate. So Xactimate is a software system for estimating the cost of repairs and reconstruction for residential and small commercial structures.
How long has that software been in use?
I don't know. If I had to guess, probably say about a decade, maybe. But we use the same software. So that's another value that we have. Insurance company uses software, and we use the same software, so that way we can connect, we can talk. we can come up with the actual effort, time, materials, money it takes to get something done. There's other softwares out there that some companies use, but the Xactimate, that's the most common and the most respectable software. Oops, I didn't mean to X out of that. All right, so let me show you this. So they use Xactimate for this estimate. And this was actually the second one, but we supplemented. So they missed a whole lot of stuff in the first initial inspection. We got a bunch of stuff added. So they have 20, let's say 40, 47 items, right? So they have 47 items. Look at this is our supplement. As you can see, way more detailed than insurance. How many items we have?
So you made this entire document yourself?
So this one I didn't. We hire an estimating company that will put together the estimates. But how many do they have? How many items?
I'm seeing what is that about 82, right?
We have 82 items. They had 47.
47.
Yeah, they have 47 items. We had 82 items. So they have 47. You see that? We have 82.
So you
That's
never really know until actually on the day when you're doing it.
right. You never know. But even from what we do know, we know there's 82.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first supplement. And then we had another supplement. So that supplement had to go from let's see here. All right, so after our supplement of 82, they went ahead from 47 . What's that number say?
Near to the description,
Yep,
I'm seeing 62.
yep. So after our supplement, they went from 47 to 62.
Mm-hmm.
And that was and then we have another supplement that's going on right now that they're gonna go from 62 to more. And then we're almost up at our 82. So that's one of the values that we offer. We make sure that customers claim is at the value it's supposed to be. In turn, we're able to do what is supposed to be done, not just install a roof, but install a roof according to manufacturer specifications and the local codes. So that way, customers never have to worry about anything. So I just wanted to show you that, and that number is our number for the project, 72,139. Their number right now is $52,000, $52,427.60. So that is what a supplement is. Just back up. All right, last one. Last one we'll go over because you had questions on this about the first day. Okay, so we have different kinds of adjusters. So once we file a claim, once they file a claim, they're going to get a claim number, and then an adjuster will be signed. Adjuster will be signed to the claim. All right. So we have an adjuster is one that is supposed to be the decision maker that does the estimate, approves or denies the claim. He cuts the checks. He addresses the supplements. He handles the whole claim from start to finish, usually. So there's different kinds of adjusters. So different companies do things different. So sometimes you'll get a desk adjuster that might handle everything. So they handle the whole entire claim. They handle the check, they handle the supplement, they handle the RCV check, the ACV check. They take over everything. So if you have a desk adjuster, that's someone that might not show up at the property. They might be in Texas when we're in Pennsylvania. They might be halfway across the country. And they're sitting at a desk, and if it is a desk adjuster, they might hire someone else to go out and do the inspection. Okay. So if they hire someone out to do inspection, that's called a ladder assist. So the ladder assist job, they're literally a photographer. They don't make any decisions. They go out, they inspect the property, they take photos, they document damage and not damage and the condition of the roof and all that type stuff. So there's a couple companies that do that we know of. A couple ladder assist, or not ladder assist, Seek Now, Hancock, and there's a bunch of other ones, but these are the two main ones. So they're literally photographers. So the next thing you might have, the desk adjuster might have a field adjuster. So he might actually do exactly what the Larsis does. He's a photographer. He takes photos, he documents, he gets on the roof, and sometimes, or most times, they can actually write estimates and approve roofs, approves damage. And sometimes they can cut a check, depending on their ability. What most times they don't deal with is they don't deal with the supplements most times. They're just out there doing the inspection. They deal with the writing estimates. And these guys, a lot of times they're sent out. They might be from Texas, but then they're just sent out on the job, and they're sent out to adjust all these claims in an area that has a lot of storm damage. So they have tons of claims. They have a lot of work, and it's all about speed. They're trying to get everything done and try to be efficient so they can get paid. So they can easily miss things. The ladder assists, they're paid specifically just to go out there to do inspections and take photographs. So they might be on the property for 10 minutes. They hop on the roof, they mark things up, they get down, on to the next one. The more they can do in a day, the more money they make. If they take a lot of time to do it, the less money they make.
Now, doesn't that leave room for error if they're trying to move too fast?
Absolutely. That's why there's a lot of supplements. That's why we supplement every single claim, because they make errors, and a lot of them aren't educated on what is necessarily what's needed. Another thing they have is preferred contractors. So they might send out a roofer that is one of their preferred contractors. So they say, okay, roofer, you go out, you do the inspections, you write up the estimate, and here's our guidelines, and here's our pricing. And the roofer's hoping that on these claims they can win the job. So they're paid like ladder assists at times. And if there's no damage, and if there is damage, then they get to do the job. That's why we have the contract with our customers, because we don't want some other insurance company sending out their roofer and trying to steal the job. And it's really a conflict of interest, because who's the roofer care more about of? What relationship does he care more about? One time a customer that's he's gonna win one job on, or a insurance company that he's gonna get hundreds of jobs every year.
The insurance company where he's getting 100, he's having more jobs than just one.
Exactly. So if they say, hey, we ain't paying for this, this, and this, okay, so you're going to have to figure that out, or we're only going to pay this price, what's he going to say? He's going to be like, okay, all right, fine, no problem. So he's more likely to cut corners on your job because he's not getting paid enough.
Instead of us who's going to do a thorough investigation and ensure that the customer is properly taken care of.
Exactly. But we don't have any relationship with the insurance company. Any questions on this?
None so far. Everything is explained pretty properly. But I have a question. Now, for most of your clients, you've never had to go back to their property to do any other job, right?
What do you mean?
So once you've done the job, that's pretty much it. You've never had a callback before, right?
Oh, we have callbacks. We have callbacks sometimes. It's not often, but we do. And we do, they get a warranty where everything's covered under a certain period of time, and we come back and fix the work and make sure everything is good.
Yeah, I need to move. That's like the fourth truck that passed this morning. Yeah, I need to move.
All right, so that pretty much covers everything I was going to go over today. Um, I'll send you. You wanted me to send you that document, correct?
Yes, the documents that we went over this morning, I'd like to go through and read them today and practice on the terminologies so I can pretty much get up to speed on it.
All right, I'm going to share the link with you right now. Let me see here.
Work email, all right?
Yep, everything will be going to your work email now.
And so for calls, we're gonna be using open phone, and you said something earlier. When I'm collecting information, do you have a system, a app, a website that I'm gonna be using, or I just add everything on your calendar?
We have an app that you can schedule people in. You'll be using this app to enter in appointments, and then that will sync right to my calendar.
Okay, cool. Again, it's exactly the same for the previous job that I was doing. So they had an app that you access through a website, and any information that I add, it just immediately syncs to their calendar.
Yeah, that's great. That's how to do it, you know.
Mm,
You can get that figured out, and it helps everybody. Helps you be organized, helps us stay organized, helps keep statistics, all that good stuff. So everything I'm sending you over everything we went over today, all the
mhm.
training documents, the insurance paperwork, the estimates. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. I just sent that over. So on Google Drive, you should be able to just click on it and then view it.
So I won't see it as a message. I'd have to go through Google Drive, right?
You should be able to click on it and download it. So I want to show you real quick the before after picture of the house I was just talking about.
Mhm.
All right,
I just got them.
perfect. All right, so this is the before pictures of this house. This house here.
Mhm.
Sarah got this one. We've been posting on social media. She posts on social media about how we help people with storm damage get their property paid for, the roof. And as you can see, there's hail damage all over this house.
Mhm.
See that picture 9, hail damage. Look how bad that hail hit there. So that's the before. It's with roofing, siding, and gutters. Actually, let me see if this. This is the afterwards looks like now.
How old is this home?
How old is it?
Mhm.
Like when did we complete it?
Yeah.
We just put the gutters on Monday. Siding was done last week. That's fresh.
It looks brand new. It looks like almost like a new home.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we do. So,
So I have a question. You said you started in 2020, right?
mhm.
And you didn't know anything about it before?
Yeah, I worked for a company before.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for a company before in 2018, February 2018. That's when I started doing what you're doing.
Mm. Oh,
And
you're
then,
setting the appointments first?
yep, setting appointments. Yep. And then that led to me doing the sales. And then I was doing sales, and then company got financial trouble in 2020, and that's when it led us to open up Five Star.
So I'm following exactly in your footsteps.
Right.
The only difference is gonna be is you guys aren't gonna go under. So that's the only difference that
Exactly.
should be.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, I might sound like a broken record, but I cannot thank you enough for this opportunity.
Hey, man, no problem. We appreciate you. We see so much in you. We see you being a future partner and helping us really grow this thing from a real small company to something massive.
And you say I'm happy that you say that because I was wanting to know, will there ever be or is there an opportunity to work with SARS doing the marketing, right?
We're both doing marketing a little bit.
All right, wonderful. I wanted to know if there's ever going to be an opening or a chance to do the appointment setting, the sales, but also work with on your marketing. Because as I said, I have a few ideas, and this is why I presented the whole aspect of working with the AI and the video that I sent you. So I have a few ideas, and I've always wanted to get better at marketing. So will there ever be a spot on the marketing team for me?
Absolutely, absolutely. As we grow and as we need more resources and more needs, the whole game is duplicating ourselves, so that way we can hire people to do those jobs, right? So there's always going to be another opportunity with another position, division. There's, always, and we're always going to be looking internal first to hire people up before we go external and looking for people. So absolutely,
Because I wouldn't mind wearing multiple hats under 5 star.
absolutely. Well, we'd love for you to duplicate yourself first. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have someone else put that hat on, you go try another hat.
Sure. Sure. And I have someone in mind, but as I said, I want to master it first because I'm talking about my best friend. And he grew up, his stepdad was a carpenter. So he knows a lot about fixing up homes, roofs,